Hello.
Hey, Brooke.
How we doing?
Excellent.
Oh,
Excited for today.
me too. Happy to see you.
You
Thank
bet.
you for doing this at 12 instead of 2 because it's opening day, people. Come on now.
Opening day.
Yeah, for baseball.
Oh, for we're still in March Madness.
Baseball, Corey.
We're still in March Madness. And then last night, my son sends me a picture of Go Pistons, and he's in the suite of the Pistons game. I'm like, dear Lord, child, I want your life.
To
Like,
be
good.
fair, Corey, it is America's sport, man.
Exactly. Exactly.
Are you Cubs? You're Cubs.
Yes. Happy 150th opening day for the Cubs.
Oh boy. There we have it. There we have it. Kristen, nice to meet you. We've spoken over email, so
Yes,
it's so lovely to see you.
you too.
I'm glad you're here.
Thank you.
Ashley, hair is curled from this morning. So, all right. I'm happy to see everyone. If you have the ability to go on camera, I would absolutely love that. If not, that's okay. I get that. We've got things we have to do today. You can hear my lovely printer going on in the background right now. So, just printing some notes. I do have some slides to share with you as well. Does everybody have their disc assessment with them?
See,
Yeah, we've got our
yes.
discs. Okay, I'm just going to grab something real quick here for a second. You're going to find with me, I'm not the most formal person, but you will get something out of here, I promise. So we're going to just have a lot of fun today. That's my goal for you. I've got a bunch of goals for you guys today. First of all, I want us to stop doing today everything that we hate in our business, right? Yeah, Kristen likes that. Okay. So it doesn't mean we're not going to do things that we don't fully enjoy, right? But has anybody ever like had a day or gone to a client where you're like, that was really bad? Like that was really not good. After reading your disc profile, did it make sense why, maybe? I would love it if you would tell me more. What'd you learn?
I think our good talk yesterday only validates what I've experienced in conversations with clients before.
Do you want to expand on that, Corey, or would you rather not?
Yeah. Sometimes I come off a little bit too unfeeling with clients.
More task oriented than people
Yes.
oriented.
Yes, very much so.
So are you on the DC side?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So more task oriented. What about anyone else? That's very good insight.
I'm opposite. I'm very
Opposite?
I'm very high I. I don't know what that means, but I think that it means that I like to talk to people and I am maybe more in my feelings than Corey. And I had a listing appointment where there was just no connection there at all. Just closed off completely. And so it was hard for me to connect, I feel like in a way that would have been valuable. I don't know.
Okay. They may have wanted more of the data. They may have not wanted some of the small talk. And you're probably going like, what is going on here? Can't we just be friends first? Why don't you like me? Yeah. So we're going to help you with that today. We're going to help you read those signs and land those listings. Good. Anyone have any big surprises in their discs that they were like, nah, I don't think this is right? Mike, tell us more.
So I was actually high S for stabilizing. patient, predictable, passive. I am, you ask my wife, I am very much so spontaneous, chaotic, and active and restless.
Okay, but for those of us that know Mike in the room, by the way, all of you high Ds in the room right now are hating this conversation. You're like, get to the point, Brooke, let's go. Yeah, Howie's like, wrap it up. Corey too, wrap it up. I know. Yeah, let's go, right? But for the S's and the I's, we have to have this rapport. So you high Ds, just go ahead and do your task-oriented stuff right now for a minute. You can ignore. Okay, Corey, yeah, go ahead. Howie, go ahead. You're good. But the high I's and the high S's need this right now. Those of us that know Mike, are we surprised that he's an S? Daddy.
I'm glad I come across really well that way. I would just say it's more adaptive than natural. Disc says it's natural, not
Listen to your
adaptive.
tone.
It's adaptive. I've adapted very well. I've adapted so well, it's natural now.
That's why we all love you, Mike. I love it. Sometimes our perception of ourselves is different than the perception that others have of us. Right? And Mike, that doesn't mean you're like wrong. It just means our perception of you is different than the perception that you have of you. And can our personality or our natural behavioral style be different in our work environment than it is in our social environment? Many times it is. Many times you'll have two dominant ones and it can flip. So I am high D over I. Surprise, surprise for a lot of you. But in a social setting, I go more to the I. You guys see that? So it'll flip. So Mike, in your work environment or in your like, so that might be what you're thinking. That might be what's happening.
Yeah, truthfully, looking at work environment, IS makes sense. Life environment, low S makes sense.
There you go. Okay. Good. All right. Okay. Does anyone ever walk away with the days where you're just like, I'm tired, I'm exhausted. It was a day. It was a day. Yeah. Okay. What you're going to notice is with a lot of the trainings and a lot of the coaches that you hire, by the way, I've probably invested, and I'm not kidding when I say this, over the 17 years that I've been in real estate, hundreds of thousands of dollars in coaching. I've been coaching for about 7 years now. Have a lot of different perspectives, and a lot of different perspectives on disc. I actually got disc certified with John Maxwell leadership, right? But then when I look at disc through the lens of real estate, it's really interesting. It's really fun to look at it through the lens of a real estate agent rather than the lens of a leader or a hiring manager, on how do we what do I want to do, because I now am in control of my lead generation. I am the product in real estate. For those of you that don't think you're the product, we're going to have a conversation about that. Okay. I am the product in real estate. It's a different way of thinking about things. Because when I first started doing disc, it was like I was hiring and I was looking to see, how do I best hire for a position? Do they fit the position I'm looking for? Well, then I had to go back to the drawing table after I lost a few listing appointments, had some really tough days, hated what my coaches were telling me to do for lead generation because it was the best way. Why was it the best way? Because it was what they knew how to do. It's how they built their business. Is real estate a one size fits all? No. But you're going to find that people will teach you what they know. Okay. All right. So I don't want you guys to have those days. You're going to have those days because we work with people. People are just naturally difficult to begin with. We're humans. Okay. We all have human sides of us. All right. But I want us to start aligning our business with who we are naturally, our natural DNA. I want us to work and double down on our strengths. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's a weakness of mine. I gotta really work on that." No! Stop thinking you have to work on your weaknesses. All right? I have like this much C on me. Literally. That's like me saying, I have like 0 C in me. So I think I really need to study accounting. No. Accounting and finance, when I got my college education in business, were the classes I took in summer because they were 6 weeks and I knew I could get through them by hiding, right? Like, I am not going to try and like become an accountant. You know what I do for my bookkeeping? I delegate it. Can I do it? Yes. But I am exhausted from it. I don't enjoy it. It takes every ounce of pleasure out of me. So why would I? If I got into entrepreneurship to be able to choose what I do, why would I choose to work on my weaknesses? Does anyone ever catch themselves saying that? Now, I'm not saying we're not going to perfect our skills in our strengths. I'm not saying we don't have areas of opportunity to work on and perfect our skills in our strengths. That's just called mastering your craft, right? But if your natural behavior isn't like bringing you to like you don't love numbers, why would you want to work on the analytics of the business? That makes no sense when you're more of the people person. Does that make sense? All right. All right, let's go to the slides. This is where, they view full screen. Everybody see that? Is that a yes?
It showed up for a second, then it disappeared.
And now it's not. See, this is one of those things. I am not the analytical, and they put me in charge of like, no, I'm just kidding. All right, let's try this again. How about that? Good? All right. I want you to stop building this business that you secretly hate. Grind is just a fancy word for burnout. The days of I have to be on 24/7, I think those are over. You guys, when I got into business, I literally would, I'm embarrassed that you would say this because I swear if I ever see any of you doing this, I will call you out so fast and literally be like, shut the laptop and go to bed. Stop bragging about it. Like literally like 11 o'clock at night, I would be exhausted, take a picture of me working and be like, still up working. This is how hard I grind for my clients. Always on for you. I didn't know how to set boundaries. I thought that part of my value was being on 24/7. I was afraid to even show pictures of me being with my kids because I thought my clients would think that I wasn't working hard enough for them. That is a recipe for burnout. We've got to get out of the idea that that's our value. It's not. Okay, what are we going to do today? We're going to create our freedom formula. All right. What does that look like? We're going to talk about our natural styles. What that does is it reveals more than you actually know. It's going to reveal why you're not having fun in your business. We're going to talk about how your income is in your natural strengths. When you know what income producing activities to do that fall within your natural behavioral styles, and you try and stop fixing your weaknesses, again, not perfecting the skills within your craft, okay? You will start making more money. When you are not having fun, it shows. When you hate what you're doing, do we do it consistently? No. Yeah, I'll get to it tomorrow. We don't like anybody love what they're doing so much and like you can't wait to get out of bed and do it. Maybe not today. I mean, maybe today. But have you ever been that pumped up about something that you're doing and like you cannot wait? Okay, or it's a vacation or it's something that you're super pumped to do. Like you don't even want to sleep. You're working on a project and you can't sleep. Yeah. Honestly, that is how I have felt the last couple months rebuilding and working collaboratively here at BP. Does that mean I haven't had really hard days? Oh, I've had some really hard days. But not most days. Like I have never had a day where I'm like, I don't want to work today. I'm excited. We spend more time working than we do with anything else. We should love what we do. Okay. Here's the other thing. I need you to know this. In real estate, make no mistake about it. You're the product. You are the product. We have the same inventory for the most part as everybody else in the state of Michigan. If you're working in the state of Michigan, if you're somewhere else, you have the same inventory as everybody else in that state for the most part. For the MLS that you belong to, the board that you belong to. We are not used car salespeople. We don't have to worry about someone walking off of our lot and not being able to buy the inventory that's on our lot. Does that make sense? The only differentiator that we have is what? Us. So I want to ask you something. If you're a salesperson and you're going to sell door to door, you're a vacuum salesperson. What are those vacuum sales? What are those vacuums that are like that they go door to door? Where are they?
Is it Kirby?
Kirby. Okay, Kirby. How much are those? $300, $500, $800? I don't know.
1,200.
1,200. They're 12. How we got sucked into buying one. He has a $1,200 Kirby vacuum. So, okay. I'm teasing you, Howie. You know this is all with love. All right. They're $1,200. I'm going to tell you they're probably a darn good vacuum. They're $1,200. The vacuum I have in my closet is 150 bucks. Okay. If I'm going to pay prime dollar for a $1,200 vacuum, do you think that that salesperson at the door better be able to tell me why I should be able to pay that $1,200 for that vacuum and do it quickly and precisely and get me excited about it? Do you think they know everything about that vacuum and every perk and every reason that that vacuum is better than its competition? Do you think they believe it? Because door-to-door sales is not easy. We can engage in this, I promise. I would love that actually. Do you think that they know that? Do you think they practice that craft? They have a vacuum to sell. Your product is you. Do you know your product that well? Can you talk about your product and get top dollar for your product the way that a Kirby salesperson can? And do you believe you're worth it? Because it's not, oh, I have more houses. It's not, oh, I have better inventory. It's not, oh, I just love walking in and opening doors. What makes you different? Can you talk about that? We're going to talk about that. We're going to figure that out today. Okay. What if you have a client that's extremely different than you? And you're like, man, I don't know how to work with this person. Anyone ever have that? Yeah. We'll talk about looking for those cues and how to know right away. Okay? How to adapt. Not change who you are, but look for the cues and adapt your presentation. And then we're actually going to put together a plan too. You guys are going to walk out of here not only with knowing what lead generation, what income producing activities are best for your natural behavioral style, but I'm also going to show you how to win more listings with every active buyer and seller that you're currently working with. And to put together a plan for it. Sound good? All right, let's do it. Okay. Predictable income requires consistent action. What does that mean to you? You can either put it in the chat or you can unmute yourself.
Do something consistently so it has time to compound. Not
Okay. Compound effect, Darren Hardy.
if not every day, like certain times a week.
I like that. If not every day, at least certain times a week consistently. All
I
right.
guess with like real estate specifically is not getting too focused on your current under contracts, that it takes focus off of thinking beyond that, taking away from lead generating while you're focused on servicing your current under contracts.
Okay. Tell me more. What would that look like?
Yeah, I think that we get so excited when we're under contract and we want to serve properly and make sure we're doing a stand-up job and really leaving a lasting impression. And so the initial inclination is to be like, I'll worry about my future business later. Like I need to knock it out of the park with these people now. And then all of a sudden they close and you look up, then you've got nothing else out in front of you because you haven't been taking that consistent action. You haven't been making it a priority.
Yeah. Yeah. Someone else, I can't see everybody when I'm sharing my screen. So go ahead and just talk. If someone was going to say something. It's very, very common for a real estate agent's income to look like this, isn't it? And it's exactly what Travis just said. We go, oh, I've got like a few pending. I got to take care of all of them. And like, I'll be really honest with you. You can tell a brand new agent when they're running around like their hair is on fire and everything is an emergency. They treat everything the exact same, right? It's knowing what's an emergency and it's knowing what's not. It's knowing what's hair on fire and it's knowing what's not. It's knowing that other people's requests don't always have to come before your scheduled time. Right? Anyone ever hear the term pay yourself first? I wasn't always really good at this, but now I am married to a man that is. No, but like, we get paid, and the first thing that we do is we move what we decide. Like we have a set amount in every check to our savings. We pay ourselves first before we pay anybody else. Pretty good practice, right? Okay. What would your business look like if you paid yourself first? Meaning, your first appointment on your calendar was with you. You lead generated. That would be called paying yourself first in your business, making sure you're keeping your pipeline full. That would be consistent action, paying yourself first, getting in the habit of that. Would that help you keep predictable income? Now, if you hate what you're doing, would that be hard to stay consistent? Has anybody found the lead generation or the income producing activity that they absolutely love doing? I'm not seeing anybody say
Door
yes.
knocking.
Corey loves door knocking. Corey, do you door knock consistently?
In the summer, yes. Less so in the winter.
What do you do to replace door knocking?
Oh, that's a great question. I'm still figuring that out.
Okay.
For now, it is just back to the phones.
Okay.
Better way to do that, I have yet to find.
Okay. Perfect. When you say back to the phones, is it like circle prospecting since you like door knocking?
Yeah, it is definitely instead of going down my my sync nurture campaign consistently over and over and beating that drum almost too hard, it definitely turns into more of a neighborhood profiling search.
Okay.
What's working for that?
You guys, Corey, there's a reason Corey is an incredible trainer. He knows his profile and he knows what works for his profile. You're going to see that in the slides here. Well done.
Hey, Brooke.
Yeah.
Interesting because I'm a high I and I love the listing appointments. I love the listing presentations. Like I get energized from those, but I hate prospecting. So for me,
All
like
prospecting?
not all prospecting, but I hate like the dialing, the calling, I like the door knocking for me, that kind of stuff. Like I'd rather cut off my toe. But I love the actual listing appointments, the connecting
Sure.
with sellers. So yeah,
Yeah. So we're going to help you find some lead generation that you might enjoy today.
fantastic.
Yeah. How does that sound?
Wonderful.
That's the beautiful thing about real estate is, there's 100 different ways to build a real estate business. Doesn't all have to look the same, right? So a high I can see, yeah, you would probably not enjoy calling expireds or for sale by owners. That would probably not be your thing. Corey is a high D over C. He enjoys the win. He loves that. He's systems, tasks. High I's are people. That would not be something you would enjoy. There's a reason why. Not your natural behavior. Yeah. Hang with me. We gotcha. Okay. Okay. You guys ready for this? Here we go. Where are my high I's in the room? Raise your hand. Let me see you. We got Kristen. We got Travis. Mike. Sharia. Lisa, you're not raising your hand. Are you? Yeah? Anyone else? I'll put myself in that category. I'm secondary high I. Okay. All right. High D's. Mike. Howie. Those of you who aren't paying attention, go ahead and raise your hand. I'm just kidding. Okay. All right. S's and C's. Mike is like, I'm all for. Mike is like, I'm everything. Okay. Ashley. Okay.
I'm not a C.
You're not a C.
Not
Okay.
a C. Sorry. Probably should be.
Why are you sorry?
I mean, as a loan officer, I feel like I should be an architect.
Well, you're people, right? Your job is people.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Heidi's. Heidi's are, all right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put you guys on my other screen and I'm going to look at this screen. So if you see me looking up, I'm actually looking for you, just so you know. Okay. There's going to be a weird thing here going. Heidi's, my Heidi's, they want results. They're strong-willed. They're independent, assertive, directive, decisive. They are to the point people. Your high D people are like, if I'm not number one, don't even mention my name. Like, no. They love the competition. They can come across um, abrasive. They, you can spot a high D because they will usually look pretty put together. They're going to have the nice watches. They're going to be the one that's going to be like, I don't need to know how you got there. I just need to know that you did. Very task oriented. Okay. They're closers. With a high D for sale by owner activities, expireds, circle prospecting. They're hunters. They want that immediate win. Okay? They want that immediate, quick return on investment. High Ds like to make money like now. High Ds are impatient. They get things done. All right? Now, high Ds, you want, like, there's good, there's not, none of these are like better than any other, okay? Your high Ds are what you're going to find, like, they're going to be your decision makers. They're going to be your strong-willed leaders. They're going to be like, we're going to get things done. You're going to move quick with them, and they're not going to worry about hurting your feelings. But what I need you to know about behavior assessment, natural behavior, is this is not heart behavior. This is not who they are at the heart. This is their natural behavior. So we have to be very careful not to take these personal. You just have to go, oh, they're a high D personality. Got it. Okay. And so our job as the real estate agent, as the salesperson, is not to say, Mr. High D, you really hurt my feelings. I need you to tone it down a little. No, no, no. Our job as a salesperson and them as our client is to say, he's a high D. He needs me to be direct. He needs me to show him I'm competent, or she. A high D unknowingly will push you until you push back. And unknowingly, they won't respect you until you push back. That's a high D. But the activities that they like are they want that quick return because they want that win. I worked with a high D and he would circle prospect for sale by owners and do expireds. And literally he would have a headset and he would make the call. And the minute he would get someone on the call, he would throw, oh, Corey, you're going to love this. He would throw the ball up like it was a baseball. And then he would wait for like the objection or to get someone on the call. And if he could like get the objection and like, you know, like conquer it, he would hit it out of the park. And his goal was always 3 appointments a day. And most times he got it. That's the high D. And there were many times I had to have conversations with him about not plowing over his office girls who were high S's because he very easily hurt their feelings with how direct he was as their boss. Can anyone think of high Ds in their lives? They move quick and they are reactive. They do not always think about the things they say. And then they have that, oh shoot moment. High Is. High Is are energetic, outgoing, enthusiastic, persuasive, optimistic, and creative. They are people. They love people. They are typically going to be your loud, your popular. They are going to be like, they're going to ask like, who else is there? They're going to be like the life of the party. The way that you can tell a high I is they are always going to look amazing. But then if you look in their car or on their desk, it's going to just look like a tornado hit it. They're going to be late. So you D's and C's, don't take that personal. It's just the way they are. They're not trying to be rude. They're going to come flying in like a hot mess. They're not trying to be rude. They're just a little disheveled sometimes because they're trying to get one more thing in, or they just lost their keys. Who knows what I'm talking about? Okay. They're persuasive, they're optimistic, they're always going to see this bright side of things. They're going to drive us C nuts. But the really funny thing is most high I's and high C's are usually married. Or like the D and the S. Just the way it is. I don't know. It's a great balance. Okay, they love to be like the center of attention. Okay. So what's going to work for them? Social media, client events, big mega open houses, things that are going to be attraction based. Look at me. That's fun. They want fun. All right. Now, for you high I's, you might not love the I have to like put it up on social media. You might not love the planning part of it, but oh, you will love doing it. So that's what I'm talking about, perfecting the craft. Now, for you high D's and C's that are looking at me going, yeah, but you're not getting someone on the phone that's not actually prospecting. I want my high I's and S's to understand. The goal is always to get someone on the phone and then someone in a conversation in face-to-face. I'm going to repeat that. The goal is always to get someone on the phone and then face-to-face. If you can go straight to face-to-face because you have an open house, perfect, but then you're going to always follow up. This is where you cannot drop the ball. You cannot just be the popular one and think that you're going to make money. You have to create, because you are people, focus on the connections. Okay? Create a wide cast and then focus who you connect with. Does that make sense? Is this helpful? You're not going to love picking up the phone, and that's okay from the start. So you're going to create the cast, you're going to cast, and then you're going to pick up the phone with those that you have warm with. Okay? You're going to inbox the people that comment. You're going to make sure you keep good notes at all of your events. You're going to go to lunch. You're going to be the celebrity. My S's. You're the anchor. Most people, the majority of the world is actually S's. But in the real estate world, we're the odd ones out. So that's why we are like, we find few S's in the real estate world, but we find all profiles in here, right? So I want to make that clear. But real estate's a loud business, so that's why we have a lot of D's and I's, mostly I's and D's. High S's. S's are caring, agreeable, supportive, dependable, calm, patient. They love team. They love, you're going to hear we. S's are slow to trust, but once they do, they are loyal. They are the ones that will show up to everything. They will be at everything of yours. If you have an S who is a client, they will be a client for life. But be very careful because if you make them mad, they won't tell you why. They will just go away because they don't like conflict. Anyone have S's in their lives and they're starting to understand what happened? I can't see all of you, so just go ahead and speak up. Now, for those of you that have worked with clients for a long time and you're like, I cannot get them to make a decision, they're very likely an S. S's can't be pushed. These are the, I'm going to pray about it. I need to think it over. We're just not ready. We want to look at 35 more homes. They're going to call you to be your best friend before they're going to talk about real estate. A high D is going to be like, oh my God. A high D is going to be exhausted. Where are my high Ds? Anyone know what I'm talking about? Ever work with an S? You're like, yep, experienced that. If you don't know the disc, in your mind, you're like, they're a time waster. They're being rude. It's just them. Once they trust you, then you can say to them, hey, do I have permission to push you along a little bit? Do you remember when you said to me this was your time frame and this is why? But if you push them too soon, trust is gone. So be careful. But they will need you to help them make a decision because they won't make a decision if you don't help them. Okay. Activities for an S, S's and C's. I need you to be careful, S's and C's, because if you want to make income very quickly, you have to get uncomfortable. Unless you are very, very, very good with your sphere of influence and asking for referrals. But S's and C's in this business, I'm just going to be very honest with you. You're going to be very uncomfortable in the beginning. You will get very uncomfortable if you want to make an income right away because your income producing activities that are going to fit your natural behavior are going to be a little bit more of the slow go. Now, compound effect and doing them consistently, it will pay off. So if you get in the habit of this and you either have somebody that can help, you have a second income in the home and you have a huge savings and you have the time to kill, great. But if you need to make an income quickly, which most of us do, we don't like to waste our time and we don't want to go a couple years without a closing. That doesn't make sense to me. That would be the high D in me. You will have to get uncomfortable, my high C's and my high S's. Okay? I just want to make that clear. Vendor partnerships, meaning you love like the networking, you love the one-on-ones, you love the relationships, you love building trust with other people, that referral, that relationship. database follow-up, sphere of influence. Okay. And then my high C's. Your high C's are going to be the people that you work with, like your accountants, engineers. They love data. They're cautious, persistent, perfectionist. High C's, high C's don't like to be told they're wrong. High C's want you to show them the numbers. They're very focused. Even if, so the high D's and the high C's are both very task focused. High D's are like, just tell me the bottom line. I don't care how you got there. A high C is task focused, but they're going to say, I need to see the details of how you got there, and I'm going to check your work. Make sense? Okay. If you're a high C, you're going to love like sending more market reports, targeted mailers, all the fluff of like building relationships and celebrating and stuff like that. And people stuff doesn't make sense to you. Like, why? So you want to build data and be logical. Questions on this?
Could you speak to, you mentioned that most of the world falls into that S category. Did I remember that, hear that correctly? So is that something that we could target from all of our letters as far as how to approach, like if we're going to do like mailers or door knocking or whatever, like is there a blanket kind of more effective targeted way to address those clients? You know what I'm trying to say? Like if it doesn't necessarily like fall in our particular letter of the disc assessment, but that speaks to the majority.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, I think, being kind, community oriented, team oriented,
Or like lasting relationships and like
lasting
the consistency.
relationships,
Yeah.
showing that you care. I think all of those things fall into the S category. As long as you're showing that, I don't think you can go wrong with any of that. In fact, most um, disc profiles that I look at, most people have some S in them. If you look at your disc, you probably have some S in you. I don't know. But yeah, so that's how I would do that. I would be very, and that's the beautiful thing about being in real estate. Even if, I mean, most salespeople happen to fall into that high D category just because we are outgoing. We're faster paced people. That just makes sense, right? That doesn't mean C's and S's aren't fabulous salespeople too. It just means that they just have to understand in the beginning, they're going to have to get more uncomfortable and be very consistent with their tasks, right? But I would say, because we all do have that S in us, most of us, not, I don't want to say that, but I would say, yeah, if you can show, especially as a real estate agent, you're community oriented, you care about a win-win, you're supportive. I think all of those things are still going to appeal to that S personality, but they hired you still to win for them, to be competent, to do your job. Is that helpful, Travis?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Okay, listening for the cues. All right, as a salesperson, if you have a high D personality, here's a magic question. I love this question. I ask this question. It's in all of my buyer information sheets and my seller information sheets. I always ask this question. Tell me how I win with you. What are the 3 things I can do to win with you? What am I listening for? Right here. A high D is to be like, give me the most money. Do it quick. Right? I want results. Those are the kinds of things that we're listening for. If you spend more than like 45 minutes in a listing appointment with a high D, they're kicking you out. They're like, oh, look at that, gotta go. I mean, they're like literally like sending the signals, like it's time. I gotta go. With a high D, I want to make something very clear with you. You have to show a high D that you are competent, but you also cannot make a high D feel like they have lost control. So with a high D, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're giving them options. You can't say to a high D like, whatever you want, it doesn't matter. That's not going to fly. But you can say to a high D, based off what you told me, these are some great options. This or this. Which would you prefer? You're showing you're competent, but they are still in control. You got to make a high D feel like they made the decision. Good? High I. Make it fun. Build a rapport. They want to know. This is so exciting. You're going to hear things like that. My friend moved into the neighborhood. My kids have friends that live here. I'm so excited. We can plan play dates. Who else lives in the neighborhood? They're going to be the ones looking at the pictures. Do we know them? You got to build a rapport with them. They want to know they're going to have fun with you. You can't just walk in and get right to the data. Okay? They want to know you care. That's the people. They want to belong. Steady, your S's. They're going to be a little hesitant at first. They're going to be nervous. They need to know that you've got them. You're walking with them. You understand. They're going to ask a lot of questions. They're going to see if they can trust you. They're going to ask your opinion a lot. What would you do? What do you think? I want to talk it over with my mom. I want to talk it over with my friend. This is your high S. Your high C is going to ask for data. What are the comps? Show me the numbers. Can I see that in writing? They're going to ask why. They want to make sure you know what you're talking about. And they will be skeptical. Don't take it personal. Don't get defensive. Validate that they have that's a great question. I'm so glad you asked that. Let me explain. You don't ever want to make a C feel like you're offended that they ask questions. A question is simply a question. I want to make sure that we understand this. A question is a question, not an objection. Especially to a high C.
Can I say something?
Absolutely.
Okay, if you start selling to a high C when they ask you a question and they just want an answer, you will lose them.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah. Can you want to expand on that, Ashley?
yes, if a high C asks you a question and you just don't answer the question to them directly and you use that as an objection and you start asking them questions back or giving them a sales pitch or you're going into your objection handler, they will be so annoyed. They know exactly what you're doing and they have written you off right there. They want the answer to your question. They're asking you a question because they're interested. Answer their question.
Yeah.
They're not trying to waste your time.
Yeah. Yeah. Good point. Good point. Anyone else have any questions on this or any aha moments of like what maybe happened at any given point?
Yeah, my last one that just fell through after inspections. I'm finding out that they were very high S's, and they were cautious from the start. And then this was their first time seeing an inspection report. And even though I did my best to prepare them for that, like it's hard to, if they haven't seen that before, they don't know what to expect. And when they start to see any issues at all, they were not in the mindset to address the issues. Like there wasn't a logical sense of like moving forward and how do we address this. It was just like danger, danger, run away.
So knowing what you know now, how could we approach a high S with that?
Yeah, good question. And in the moment I thought that I did a good job. I really wanted to like get to the bottom of where their concern was lying. But they seemed impenetrable to that conversation. It seemed like they had already just written it off. They didn't even want to explore where those concerns were being generated from. And I just had a follow-up phone call with her yesterday, and the pressure and the intensity around that situation had kind of eased off a little bit. And so she more articulately kind of spoke to where their concerns were and what they thought were roadblocks. And it just stinks because I gained so much value out of that conversation and I addressed some of those concerns for moving forward. And I could hear the aha in her head when she was like, oh my gosh, like there was a way forward with this house and this was such a good property. And I did like push gently to like really try and see where that was stemming from at the time. But I think that it was just so overwhelming. And I'm learning from this as well that like there wasn't even any interest in navigating those concerns. They're like, we just can't do this right now. And then when things calm down, they're like, this is where we were concerned. This is what we were concerned about. And this is why we didn't see a way forward. And now moving forward, we're like, oh, actually, like these things could have been addressed and everything would have been fine.
Question for you. Was it a short inspection contingency?
It was a short inspection contingency that we then extended. So like we took some pressure off by extending the inspection window. And that was at my request because I could tell that they were feeling the pressure of that. And it was a multiple offer situation. So really the main goal was just to get under contract and then kind of figure out the rest later. And that extra day did help, but I don't think that I had enough communication with them during that extra day to kind of nip the concerns in the bud and address throughout. So then we were nearing the end of that final one and they had already come to their decision.
Yeah. Just so you guys know, when someone is speaking, I will ask questions and I will go into it if I think it's going to benefit the masses. Okay. Why would I ask him if it was a short inspection contingency when he's working with S's?
I think because for S's, when time is rushed, I think that's just automatically against how they work. The more time they have, the better for them, I would think.
Yeah.
I would assume he built a lot of trust extending that for them in the first place, which is probably why he got that phone call back and she was vulnerable with him in the end.
Yeah.
Cindy, did you unmute?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I am a high S, so
Yeah.
I can answer this very well. For me particularly, it's just like I just want to know everything up front before I have to make a decision. And so even though, even though I am that, sometimes I get so ahead of myself, like trying to do that, and it just doesn't come across that way to the client. So that's where it's like constantly repeat, okay, we have 3 days. Let's get the inspection done the first day. We're going to get it tonight. You know, just walk them through it, and you just keep reminding and keep reminding and keep reminding, and just stay the calm in the storm.
Yeah. Yeah. So moving forward on the next one, because they will write with you again, Travis. They trust you. And again, I'm speaking to all of you, okay, when I'm talking to Travis. With an S, it's a good idea to make sure that that inspection is scheduled right at the very beginning of the inspection contingency. It's also, I'm going to shoot myself in the foot here. With an S, I'm going to say show up at least a part of the inspection as their agent. Now, you do what you want with your inspections. Talk to your broker about inspections and what they expect of you with your inspections, okay? I have my own philosophy on that, but you all talk to your own broker about what they want from you and what they expect from you, okay? With a high S though, they do need to feel you're on their team. They need you to be there to calm them. You don't have to be at the whole thing, but you do want to make sure that hey, you know what? And you also want to prepare them, like Cindy said. The inspector is there to give you bad news. They will shake things up. It's not going to be a warm and fluffy day. It's just not. I'm going to be there. I'm going to make sure that everything's good. I've seen so many of these reports. I trust this inspector. I've used him a lot. He knows what he's talking about. If there's any major red flags, I will be notified right away. And we're going to have some time after the inspection to absorb it, to talk about it, to make any phone calls that we need to make sure everything's good and ready to go. We don't need to rush this. Your D's and I's will make decisions quickly, sometimes too quickly. Your D's and I's will change their minds quickly. You I's out there, be very careful because you will get shiny object syndrome, and consistency will be a hard thing for you. So remind yourself of that. Stay consistent. Howie, did you just unmute yourself?
I did, yes. So thank you for the feedback on obviously talking with your broker, talk about inspections. But really, what I heard you say, which is the most important thing, is to meet your client where they are. And if they are an S, they're going to need something different than what a D needs, and an I needs something different than what a C needs, right? And so, like you said, the S, it would be helpful if you showed up for part of the inspection to walk alongside them, to give them more of that safe, trust, security kind of piece to that. So I think that's the most important thing. Know who your client is and meet them where they're at so you can help them on this journey. Be a great leader, be a great counselor, be a great resource, skilled professional to help them. And everybody needs something different.
Yeah. Thank you.
If they could all just wear their actual letter on the front of their coat, that would be fantastic.
Yeah. You'll know, Kristen, the more that you listen for these cues, like you listen for these cues, you will be able to, the more you practice this, the more you'll understand. And also, the more you know you. Because here's the thing, you're going to feel exhausted when you're working with the opposite of you. It's just natural. That's why, like those of you that one day want to grow a team, or if you have a team, You can never, ever, ever hire or interview yourself because we end up wanting to hire people we like. At least you can't do the first interview. I mean, you do end up, you want to hire people you like, right? But you can't do the first interview because you don't hire people with the same natural behavioral strengths as you. You have to hire people who have natural behavioral strengths that are opposite of you. Make sense? That would make no, I mean, if I hire high IDs, unless they're other salespeople, if I hire people, a high ID to be an office person, I got a big mess in my office. So I got to have someone else do my first interview and say, yes, they're a great compliment to your natural behavioral style. I mean, yes, we're going to diss them as well, but then it's okay, I'll do the final interview to make sure that we do jive and we can work together, of course. But if I'm just doing the first one, especially as a high D, because I want someone in my office like yesterday, if I like them, they got the job. Big, fat, expensive mistake. So just for those of you that plan to expand your business, this is a word of caution for you. I don't know if anyone has ever made that big, fat, expensive mistake, but prior to the best admin I've ever had in my life, I made that big, fat, expensive mistake. Okay. How we're going to land more clients. Think about this for a minute. If I walk into a high D's house, what do I want to make sure I start with? What are we listening for? Look at what we're listening for. I'm not here to waste your time. I won't take forever. Right? I already did the work just so I can make sure that you can see your options. Right? Am I making sense here? Howie, you can appreciate that if someone walks into your house and says this. Heidi. And you're going to do the work up front and you're going to show them you're competent and you're going to say, I'm making sure you have options. I know what I'm talking about. I'm not here to waste your time. Task oriented. They are going to appreciate that. High eyes. I'm going to build a rapport. I'm going to find something in common. I'm probably going to compliment them. They really love that. People. They want people. They want to know you're fun. They want to know where they're moving. Oh, you're moving there. Oh, it's a great neighborhood. You're going to love it. Right? I'm so excited for you. We're going to have such a great time. And by the way, at the end of the process, when you move in your new home, I'm going to throw you a housewarming party. Hi, I. See where I'm going with this? Hi, S. I'm on your time frame. It's important to me that you trust me. How are you feeling? Good? C's. I'm walking in with my binder. They love words like data. They love to know that you think they're smart. I have a feeling you probably already looked at these numbers. I'm going to leave this with you to go over. C's and S's are going to move slower. I's and D's will make very quick decisions, very likely on your very first meeting. Good? Is this helpful? Do we have any questions on this? Go ahead and just talk because I can't see all of you when I'm sharing my screen.
I was just going to say it would be really, I'm just thinking, like, even before we have our first consultation with them, like a buyer consultation or anything like that, I'm just thinking if I can come up with like 3 questions that I have them answer for me that lead me to this, the listening for the cues, 3 questions that they don't understand that we're asking them that's going to get me to he's a D, she's an I, before I even walk into that first consultation with them. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Yes. Kristen, do you have like a buyer intake form or a seller intake form?
Um, I do it more through conversation, but I'm thinking I'd rather have something even just more that I use for everyone, the same thing. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yep. Okay. I want you to listen for the cue words.
Okay.
Your I's and your S's are going to be more feeling. Your D's and your C's are going to be more task, more bottom line. Okay. Numbers. Your D's and your I's are going to speak faster. Your S's and C's are going to be a little bit slower paced. They'll keep you on the phone a little bit longer. And the magic question that I have found that no other realtor asks, except for this group here now, is tell me, I'm curious, how do I win with you?
Excellent.
That right there, when you listen for what they say, if they only give you one, say, tell me 3 ways. You'll figure it out. Good? Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Now, what if you could get more listings with every seller and every buyer you worked with? Would that be helpful? Okay. So in the beginning of today, what we did was we said, okay, this is my natural personality. This is my natural behavioral style. And I know that I don't have to pick up the phone and dial for sale by owners and expireds if I'm a high I, right, Kristen? But I can do maybe events, or I can do like maybe make open houses, or there are ways, social media. But the goal is always to get on the phone or to get, right, to get in front of the person. If we stay consistent with those activities, we know that every day we have something to do. That's a lead generation way. By the way, if you have questions on any of those lead generation ideas, or you want a playbook, or you need a script, contact me directly. I will happily go through it with you. I will happily set a one-on-one with you. I will happily send it to you. I do have playbooks for all of those. I do have script books. I do have whatever you need. Okay. I just don't have time in a 2-hour masterclass to go through each of them. So if you need more detail on any of them, reach out to me directly and I will go through it with you if you have one that you're interested in and you're not quite sure what to do with it. Fair? When I say playbook, I mean like literal checklist, do this, do this, do this, do that. Okay? We're going to take the guesswork out of everything today. All right? Same thing with this. You get a new seller. Remember in the beginning when we said the differentiator is you. You're the product. Now, real estate is a 90-10 business. Let's be real here. I'm just going to call it out. It's not real hard to stand out in this business. It's just most agents don't make that much of an effort. If you don't believe me, go to 3 open houses this weekend. Just observe. Not real hard to stand out in this business. Okay? Now, you have your seller. You know your personality. You know your natural behavioral style now. You know you're the product. I want you to look at this list. Now, there's plenty others. I know BP has a coming soon campaign. There's plenty others. And I know other brokerages have other things but I want you to think about this. Triple tap postcards. What is that? Well, let's say we didn't just send just listed postcards to the nearest 100 neighbors. We sent just listed, just pending, and just sold. So those 100 closest neighbors got 3 postcards from you, likely in the matter of 30 to 60 days. Now, a neighbors only preview. What this would be is an exclusive neighbors only open house. Meaning, you have a new listing. If you're doing the triple tap postcards, maybe that first postcard is an invitation to an exclusive neighbors only open house. You get the nosy neighbors out of there. Now, you also maybe make it an event. You have it catered in by a local coffee shop and donuts or something. But it is exclusive to the neighbors only, and maybe they are asked to bring a guest who might be interested in moving to the neighborhood. Number 3, a mega event style open house. Now, when I said you go to 3 open houses, you're going to see what agent cares about their job and what agent doesn't. There are the agents who put a sign in the front yard that says open house and put it on the MLS and sit there with their computer and say, yeah, if you have any questions, let me know. Then there's the agent who has signs everywhere, 25 signs, balloons out front, a themed open house. You can't miss it. Like, it's like when they walk in the front door, the joke is, did you see the signs? And they're laughing hysterically. It's an event. You've sent it to everybody you know. You are known for having these mega open houses. The neighbors are like, what the heck is going on over there? You do a targeted social video. So then you do the just listed video, and you're targeting that neighborhood on social media. You're circle prospecting. By the way, I'm missing a 10 on there. It should be 5, 5, 10, 10. Okay? So you're door knocking or you're calling. So they've gotten the invite. You're inviting them personally. You're door knocking. They're seeing the signs. They're seeing the video online. You're emailing your entire sphere of influence for this new listing that you got. Now, I want you to think about something. You know your personality style. Could you choose 4 of those to do? Now, you choose 4. You walk in, and this is part of your listing presentation. And you say, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, for every listing I do, this is how I'd like to promote your listing. I send out not only just listed postcards, but I actually make my first one an invitation because I hold an exclusive only neighborhood because I know your neighbors are curious. And in fact, your neighbors are the best advocates to be able to find a buyer for your property. They know the neighborhood best. I know they're curious. So I'd like to hold an exclusive neighborhood only event for them. In fact, I'll do it an hour before my huge mega open house. In fact, I don't do open houses small. I do them obnoxiously. You can't miss it. There's balloons everywhere. I've got 25 signs everywhere. I make it an event. I have it themed. I walk around the neighborhood, the entire neighborhood. First, I knock on doors. I invite them myself. In fact, when I have the photos taken, I'm also going to have a video taken because I'm going to target this area on social media and pay for the ads. And we're going to have your ad shown with with a video of your home to sell it. Do you think that sets you apart? If you chose 4 of them and it set you apart, what else does each of these 4 things do?
Grows your business.
How?
More relationship connections.
More relationship connections. Do you think it makes you stand out as a listing agent?
Yeah, you're showing your value to other people who would want that same service provided for them.
You're showing your value to other people. You're showing the neighbors. You're on an interview, right? The neighbors are going, whoa, what is that listing agent doing for that house comparative to the one down the street that I'm not seeing anything done for? Because most agents do what? Put a sign in the yard and throw it on the MLS and hope and pray. If you walk in and you have 4 of these chosen out of the 6 and you are setting yourself up because you are the product, and this is your listing presentation, 4 of them, choose 4 that fit your personality or whatever it is that you do, and you do this consistently every single time, and you're known for it, and then you become the agent who does the mega open houses, or you become the agent who does the targeted ads, and you do them consistently, and this is your plan. You think you could pick up a couple other listings with every other listing that you have? Do you think it could keep you busy and have a plan for every new listing that you get? What if you then scheduled a follow-up Friday for every listing that you have and said, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, I just want to let you know, this is what I did for you this week. You think it would wow them? This is what I did to sell your house. I think it's a little bit better than, I'm looking at the MLS and this is how many people have hit your home, and on Zillow, and this is how many people have hit your home too. A little bit different, right? And in the same time, you are actively looking for more listings. You're prospecting. And you get to choose which one fits your personality. You don't hate your job. My D's and C's, pick up the phone and circle prospect. My I's do the mega open houses. My C's, bring all the data you can bring to those open houses and those neighbor-only previews. Show them the stats. You guys see where I'm going with this? You are you're picking up more listings every time. If you were to put this in your listing presentation and you did this every time, I want you to think about what it could do to your business, along with what you're already doing. Same thing for buyers. What if you, every time you did a buyer consultation, you said, hey, if I know specifically what you're looking for, I send a buyer letter to that neighborhood every time. And these are my stats for it. I do a buyer criteria video and I run it, and I do it specifically to that area, and I run it on social media. I have referral partners that I work with, and I call them and I let them know weekly what my buyer criteria is, because my referral partners are always in homes working. They're the ones that hear about buyers and sellers first. So I'm constantly looking to see. Oh, and by the way, I also know what agents are the top agents who work in what zip code. So I'm always constantly looking to see what inventory they have coming up, because I know what agents work in primarily the top zip codes that you're looking for in. So I'm going to network with them as well. And oh, and then I'm also going to go and I'm going to either door knock on the, I'm not afraid to go door knock where you're looking to see if anyone wants to list. Oh, and by the way, if I can't find it, then I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at the homes that expired and never sold. People that have raised their hand and said, yeah, I'm looking to buy, I would love to sell. And for whatever reason they didn't. I'm going to see if they might still want to move. If you picked 4 of these and put them in your buyer presentation, and you consistently did it every time for your buyers, do you think you might wow your buyer? What are you actively doing every time you work with a buyer then? Are you just hoping and praying for another agent to throw up what you're looking for on the MLS? No, you're actively out looking for their inventory. If you're the product, does this set you apart from everyone else? Yes. Can you choose 4 that look like you might not hate your job doing? Now, let me ask you this. Follow up Friday again. You call your buyer. Hey, I know we might not have seen the one that we wanted to look at, any that we wanted to look at that popped up on the MLS, but I wanted to let you know what I did to find off-market inventory for you this week. I sent out 100 letters. I got 2 calls. This is one of the homes that I think you might be interested in. Would you like to go set up a showing? I also talked to 6 agents. One of them has an off-market property coming that I think we might be able to take a look at. If you can tell them what you did after telling them in the buyer consultation what you were going to do you think they might be impressed? You think you might win some referrals? What if you did this in every buyer consultation? So for every buyer, you're doing 4 of these. For every seller, you're doing 4 of these. And you pick the same 4 and they're just part of your consultation. Will that help your business? Yes or yes? And then you do what I call, or you choose the time, but you block it out and you say, okay, follow up Friday, and I'm going to tell them what I did. If you're the product, we have to know what we're doing differently than what our competition is doing. What makes us stand out? But we also have to know us so well that we pick what we do that we'll do it consistently and enjoy. Because when we enjoy it, we do it well. Anyone have any questions on these? Anyone have any objections on this? Anyone think I'm nuts for this? Okay. All right.
I have a quick
Select your
question,
4.
right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm driving, so sorry if it's loud.
No, you're good.
What's the best way to, mm, like with list, like if we're mainly working with buyers, like I love everything, all the value add for the buyer consultation. Is there a way to kind of like bolster up other people's listings, like if we're hosting open houses and things, like can we still incorporate some of those aspects if we're hosting open houses for other agents? Or how much?
Every single one of them. Yeah.
Okay.
I so in your oh shoot. So if let's say you want to get other listings, there is absolutely no reason that you can't work that plan from someone else's listing. Right? In your brokerage. Now think about that. Howie has a listing and you go to Howie. Howie, do I have your permission to send just listed, just pending, and just sold cards? I'll give you credit for the listing, but if I put my contact information on there. He might say yes or no. If he says no, you find someone else. I'm going to say yes all day. Please market my listing like crazy. Brooke, do I have permission to host an open house? Oh, and I want to do a mega open house. And I'd like to door knock the area and invite them and do an exclusive neighborhood only open house event. Can I do that? Yeah. So work within your brokerage because not many people are going to tell you, no, don't market my listing. Make sense?
Yes, thank
Travis,
you.
did that help?
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah, you guys work with your brokerage. Not many people are going to tell you, no, don't market my listing. Right? And when you're hosting an open house or whatever, your marketing goes on there. You have to give the listing agent credit for the listing, but your marketing goes on everything. Do it. Just ask permission. But I'm going to tell you, you come to me, and I'm always going to be like, absolutely, please do it. 100% sell my listing. Right? I mean, if I'm not going to do it, why wouldn't I have someone else do it? It's in the best interest for my seller. And I want you to succeed. You succeeding, if I'm not, it takes nothing away from me. Right? I'm going to escape this for a second because I just lost my okay. I hope that was helpful. Does anyone else have any questions? I know other than Travis on that? No? Okay. All right, let's go back to this. Okay. All right, so we're going to select our 4. We're going to walk away with some action plans here, guys. All right, look at your DNA, your natural behavioral styles, okay? What feels most natural for you on your listings? What feels most natural for you with your buyers? You don't have a handout, but you can write them down. Now, if it's not one of the 4, don't do it. Okay, so those of you that hate picking up the phone, don't circle prospect. My high eyes out there who love events, do the events. Who love social media, do the video. My C's should probably love that video too, like the analytics, all the stuff. And you can just put your face in the beginning of it. You don't even have to be like, you don't have to talk through the whole thing. With AI today and all the other things, you can love it. Okay. So, and for my C's who are like, I am not doing a mega event with balloons. Heck no. Okay, great. You got your video, you got your circle prospecting, you got your door knocking, and you got your postcards. Pretty impressive. There's something in there for everyone. Okay. I want you to think about what you're doing in your business right now for lead gen.
Brooke, I'm so sorry. I have a really quick question. Can we get these slides or these printouts of like what's on the screen at all afterwards?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, awesome. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Think about what you're doing in your business right now for lead gen. Think about what you're doing for your buyers and your sellers. What is exhausting you? What are you dreading? What do you hate doing? What do you say you're going to do and you never make it to it? What are you procrastinating? What are you saying I should and I should be? And then you feel guilty every day because you're not. If you're one of those that thinks you should be calling expireds and you're not, let it go. If you're one of those that says, I should be hosting 24 open houses a year and you hate open houses because you're a C, let it go. What are you beating yourself up about? What do you hate doing? We're going to get it out. Get it out of your business plan. Cut it. Let the guilt go. Get rid of it. Delete it. Who has something they're deleting? Or does everybody love their business right now the way it is? Corey, you raise your hand. What are you going to cut?
I'm going to cut the need or want to try to get onto social media more.
Perfect. I love that. You don't have to be on it, right? There's so many other ways to build a business as long as you're consistent with what you love doing. You don't have to feel bad about it, right? It's not your thing. Love that. Who else is cutting something?
I will stop going after FISBOs.
Who said that?
Ashley.
Ashley, you're stopping going after FISBOs. Don't like FISBOs. We're done. We're letting it go. So proud of you to hear that. Thank you. Who else is cutting something? Anyone? Okay. Now, outside of your sphere of influence, y'all know I'm a stickler for your sphere of influence. I don't care how you nurture your sphere of influence. It is the bullseye of your business. It is the biggest return on your efforts. Okay. Based on what we talked about today, I want you to think about what is going to be your number one and maybe your secondary lead generation source. What is it going to be?
Always neighborhood profiling.
Okay. What does
Always.
that mean? Like circle prospecting, door knocking?
Yeah, combination of both. finding areas that I fit match in with communities. Jennison's one of my favorites, but
Do you farm?
yeah.
Farming, circle prospecting. Good.
Yep.
Good. Door knocking. Perfect. Come up with a plan. My high I's. Lots of stuff there. S's. Okay. My D's. My high D's. If you've got like a ton of D, just go get a dialer and expireds, FISBOs, circle prospect. Go for the win. Just get that win. All right. Now, here's what I want you to do. We talked about paying ourselves first. Don't be one of those agents that has your income going like this. Once you choose what you love doing, start your day doing what is going to pay you. All right? What's going to pay you first? Treat it like an appointment. Why? We all keep a listing appointment, don't we? Why? Because we know it's going to pay us. Can we please keep the appointments with ourselves? Because we know it's going to pay us. If we're not going to get paid if we don't lead gen, right? We can't get appointments if we're not setting appointments. So why don't we pay ourselves first? Put it on the calendar. I don't care if you do it an hour 5 days a week. I don't care if you start for an hour 3 days a week. I don't care how you start. 2 hours 5 days a week. Whatever you do, I'm asking you to start. If it's a priority, you are a business owner. Profit has to be a priority. If you do not have profit, you are not in business. We have to start thinking like business owners. We're not employees. We're business owners, which means profit has to be a priority. In fact, profit should be the number one priority as a business owner. Pay yourself first. Lead gen. It's got to be an appointment on your calendar. The beautiful thing is you get to choose how you do it. You don't have to do it the way someone else told you how to do it. You don't have to do it in a way that you hate it. You get to choose. And if you don't know how, contact me. I'll help you. I really will help you, I promise. Okay? Okay. Then I want you to make sure that you put a drop dead date. Remember, you're the product. You're the product. How are you going to differentiate yourself with buyers and sellers and also be looking for more inventory while you're wowing all of the neighbors and your buyers and sellers? Let's set a drop dead date for having our presentations updated. Because if you are in a buyer and a seller presentation and you tell them what you're going to do, what happens? We do it, right? We do it. If it's in our presentation and we say, Mr. Mrs. Seller, this is what I'm going to do for you. And I'm going to call you every Friday and I'm going to tell you what I did. Are we going to do it? We're going to do it. We are going to do it. So if we set a drop dead date, I'm going to have my buyer and seller presentations updated. And this is what I'm going to do for every listing. This is what I'm going to do for every buyer I work with. And it is in writing. It is like you know your script as your Kirby salesperson at the door. This is what sets me apart from everybody else. Boom. And I'm going to call you every week and tell you what I did. You're going to do it, right? You're going to do it. I promise you, your business will skyrocket. You'll have more confidence And you're not going to cut your commission either. They're not even going to ask you to. You're going to make more money. You're going to get more listings, and you're going to have more fun because you're actually choosing how you do it for your business in a way that you enjoy. Sounds pretty darn good to me. Okay. Then I'm going to recommend that you do set a day to let your clients know what you did for them. Tell them when you're going to do that so they're not wondering. It actually, too, when you tell them when you're going to follow up with them during the week, it actually kind of minimizes the calls that they have coming to you with questions, because they kind of go, oh, I know she's going to call, they're going to follow up with me on Friday and I'll just ask them. It's no big deal. It really does. It really does. Okay. The other thing I want to end with, and I'll take questions too, is for those of you that are in the area around, I do a coffee and connection at Foxtail in Granville on Fridays. All are welcome. Would love to have you. It's tomorrow at Foxtail from 10 to 12, Foxtail in Granville. And if you're around and you have questions on any of this, or you know, want to go in more in detail on your plan, or you want me to look over something of yours, or if you just want to come and have conversation and just camaraderie, whatever. We have no agenda on these. It's just kind of turns out to be whatever. Please come. You are more, I would love to have you. So if you're in the area, and then we can go deeper into this too if you want. And I will have my laptop. I have everything, like if you need a playbook, or if you need a script, or if you need something, or you need me to go more in detail on any of this, I'm happy to do that too. Good? Foxtail and Granville I'll be there from 10 to 12. And I just work, and then whoever shows up, shows up. So questions, comments, ahas. What can we do for you?
No, I love the disc.
I do too. I get excited about the disc.
It's so effective.
Yeah, I agree. I like it. So, everybody good? Clear as mud? Yeah, good. Okay. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful, I will say weekend. It's Thursday, but have a wonderful day. And hopefully we'll see some of you tomorrow. All right. And reach out if you have any questions or anything. I'm always here to help. Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brooke.
Bye.
Thank you.